momentous achievements was the revival of the Bhikkhuni ordination. The Bhikkhuni Sangha died out in the Theravada tradition at some point in the beginning of the second millennium, and it could not be revived, as the tradition maintains that the Buddha had declared that both monks and nuns must be present at the women's ordination. Although the Mahayana lineage of nuns continued, Theravada practitioners ordained in that tradition were not accepted. Even though the Buddha did not ever specify the need to become a monk or a nun in order to embark on his path, Bhikkhu Bodhi, the eminent scholar monk of the Theravada tradition, says quite rightly that through the centuries the lifeblood of the Buddhist tradition has flowed through its monasteries and hermitages. The absence of a Bhikkhuni Sangha meant that women who were aspiring to renounce and dedicate their life to the cultivation of the Dhamma had no opportunity to do so. Women often did renounce lay life, but they were never considered equal to monks. The Mechi in Thailand and the Dasasila Mata in Sri Lanka are good examples of how these women are regarded by the tradition. They are not given the status of fully ordained nuns, and they do not have access to education or support which can in any way be compared to what the monks receive. Their religious role in society is also restricted. For instance, dana offered to monks brings much more merits for the donor than an offering that is made to these women renunciants. In most cases, they just perform chores and housekeeping tasks for the monks in the monasteries. Many of them are thought to have become renunciants because they could not find suitable husbands or had psychological problems from which they wanted relief. In Thailand particularly, there is no record of any official establishment of the female monastic order, and so the question of permitting women into the Sangha has always been met with stiff resistance, with the Supreme Sangha Council forbidding monks from ordaining women. It was against this background that Bhikkhuni ordination was revived with the efforts of Buddhist women, finding support from learned monks who held more liberal views on the matter. These included the late Venerable Talale Dhammaloka Arunayaka of the Amarapura Nikaya, Venerable Dr. Kumburugamuva Vajira Nayaka Thera, who was the former Vice Chancellor of the Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka, and Venerable Inamaluwe Sri Sumangala Nayaka Thera of the historic Rangiri Dambula Vihara. The first practical steps in resuscitating the Bhikkhuni Sangha were taken by the Honorable Dodangoda Revata Mahathera and the late Venerable Mapalagama Vipulasara Mahathera of the Mahabodhi Society in India. Notable amongst the Western monks who wrote and actively supported the move were Bhikkhu Bodhi and Bhikkhu Analayo. The first ordination ceremony was held at Sarnath in the December of 1996. 10 Sri Lankan women were ordained by monks from the Mahabodhi Society with the assistance of Korean monks and nuns. Bhikkhuni Kusuma from Sri Lanka became the first nun to be ordained after 1,000 years in the Theravada tradition. She passed away in August 2021 at the ripe old age of 92. She had been a great Vinaya scholar of over 20 years when she was ordained, and she often sparred with monks who she mentions were quite unfamiliar with the Bhikkhuni Vinaya. Her life was an inspiration for women across the Buddhist world. This ordination ceremony though caused such an uproar that those nuns chose to stay in India for a couple of years for their own safety. Subsequently, in 1998, monks from the Fogwangshan in Taiwan participated in a great ceremony at Bodh Gaya, ordaining 131 women from different countries. Since then, ordination ceremonies have been held in Sri Lanka as well, where bhikkhunis now number several thousand. However, this development has still not received widespread acceptance, and in Thailand, for example, there are just 300 nuns, while the monks number almost 300,000. The arguments presented by the traditionalists largely pertain to the need to conform to the Buddha's direction, that there must be members from both orders present at the ordination for women. They are also somewhat anxious about the consequences such action may have for the longevity of the Buddhist tradition. A stunning development took place in the October of 2009 when Ajahn Brahmavamso, a monk in the Thai forest tradition of Ajahn Chah, ordained 4 Australian women on his own initiative into the Thai forest tradition. Ajahn Brahmavamso had been sent to Australia in 1983 by his master Ajahn Chah, and he was instrumental in the establishment of the Bodhinyana monastery, which is located south of Perth. It was here that the nuns were ordained, and as expected, it caused a furor in the parent Thai Sangha, resulting in the expulsion of Ajahn Brahmavamso from the lineage. This did not deter the Buddhist community in Australia, and the Dhammasara nuns monastery was established to support these bhikkhunis who now trained in the Thai forest tradition. In 2015, a senior nun from this monastery was deputed to the UK to establish the Anukampa Bhikkhuni project for women who wish to train for full ordination. In his defense, Ajahn Brahmavamso has stated that he read the works of senior monks like Bhikkhu Bodhi, who supported the revival of Bhikkhuni ordination, and that he had merely responded to a very critical need in Buddhist society.